afternoon and welcome to the Burton Wire on Substack. Today we are having our inaugural live with
Ooh.
none other than Dr. Mark Cunningham. He is a media scholar, professor of film, has a seminal book, the definitive book with John Singleton coming out. We're just so proud of him. And today we are here to talk to Dr. Cunningham about Sinners, the Oscars, and all things pop culture. Welcome, Dr. Mark
Thank
Cunningham.
you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, yes, yes. You may remember us from Black Press USA. We used to do this quite a bit. And now that I've started my own Substack, I would love to continue this tradition with Dr. Cunningham. So we just gonna, get into it. We call each other twins because people say we look alike. We could be cousins, siblings, something like that.
Yes.
So,
we cousins.
What'd you
That's
say?
how we cousins.
Yeah, we cousins. You know how it is. We all related. We all related. So, anyway, I wanted to talk about the Oscars, the 2026 Oscars.
Mm.
So, like, just give the people a little bit, and we're going to talk, of course, about Michael B. Jordan,
Yeah.
and we're going to talk about Ryan Coogler. We're going to watch their Oscar acceptance speeches, all the things. So we're going to do a little bit of that. But can you just give us just a little bit of an overview of what your thoughts were on the 2026 Oscars this year, Mark?
The Oscars. I mean, for the first time in a long time, I wasn't really sure what was going to happen. That was the thing. I mean, I kind of knew Jesse Buckley would probably win for Hamnet, but the other categories I just really wasn't sure about, and so it was kind of cool going into it, even though there were some ideas of like who people wanted to win or who people thought might win or whatever else. It was just really kind of a very different year, where not really knowing what the outcome was going to be. But I know there's a lot of people who, and I know we're going to talk about this, and kind of lamented the fact that Sinners didn't win Best Picture or Best Director, which I would have loved Best Director. But you know what? After Ryan won and Autumn won and Ludwig won, and then when Mike won, I was good.
Yes.
I was good. When Mike won, I was like, I didn't even care about Best Picture, and I just didn't. I mean, I know that somebody probably like, how dare he? But I was so full at that point that I'm just like, man, because I was expecting it not to get much of anything.
Yeah, so. Exactly. I think that the Oscars this year, what I loved about the Oscars, and for those who don't know me, I am a film scholar, a media scholar, a writer. I've covered culture, pop culture forever. I still write about it quite extensively. But at any rate, I mean, and I write about it for the popular audiences and also for academic audiences. Sometimes the same people exist in both worlds and in between. So anyway, but what I loved about the Oscars this year is I really wasn't sure who was going to win.
Right.
Because I thought they just had so much amazing talent. And I was saying on a previous podcast I was on, I was not mad that Amy Madigan won.
Oh God, no.
Love Amy Madigan, right?
No.
And so even though we love Tiana, and I think Tiana should have been nominated for
1,001. That's what should have happened.
Amazing, right? That should have been nominated for Best Director, Writer.
It's an amazing movie.
It's an amazing film. That was from last year, y'all. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it.
Please see that, yeah.
But I thought of One Battle After Another. Although I describe One Battle After Another as a Hollywood film with A-list actors who have done wonderfully in independent spaces, right? But I don't think it was for me. I didn't think when we were making our Oscar list, and I'm in a couple of film circles. I'm in Atlanta Film Circle. I'm also a member of another organization, which I can't say because I don't want, we're not supposed to. But at any rate, it wasn't on my list for Best Picture. It just wasn't on my list. And I thought it was a great film in many regards, but it just wasn't on my list. And so when I think about the Oscars, and when I saw the nominations come out, I said, oh, this is going to be good. Like, it's going to be good because there's so many different types of people, so many films I thought that I wouldn't necessarily have put on the list, but that were on the list, obviously, and would be because they are decidedly Hollywood films. And then just the possibilities, I was excited about that. And I know that we are flippant a lot about awards, like, oh, it doesn't validate, it doesn't, but it does tie to the bottom line,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So and you do want to be awarded by your peers, like you
Yeah.
do your industry. We all want that, even in our own, if you're not in Hollywood, if you are a professor, if you are
Mhm.
a lawyer, if you are a doctor, like, you want your peers to
Mhm.
say, hey, you do great work. So
Mhm.
but in Hollywood, it is tied to your bottom line. Like, it changes the way that you can negotiate. It changes the type of deals that you can structure. It
It
changes.
changes the way you're announced, right?
Yes, yes, yes. How you're announced, where your
Mhm.
name's on the poster, like all the stuff.
It does.
Can you talk a little bit about that, like why award shows are important in a way that, because a lot of people are just like, who cares?
Mhm.
But why should we care?
I mean, I think, I see online, particularly a lot of Black people like, oh, we need to not worry about them and make our own and do our own or whatever else. But look, as somebody who has found themselves in this same place, wanting to, wanting to be a filmmaker, wanting to be a screenwriter. Look, it's what you dream about. You dream about getting on that stage and getting an Oscar and whatever else. And I don't know. I think it's kind of disingenuous to say that Black people in particular shouldn't care about this kind of stuff, because we do care about it, right? And like you said, the industry recognizes this particular marker. It's a reason. It's the culmination of the entire award season. It's a reason for that, right? And while I do understand the sentiment behind having our own and doing our own, and the NAACP Image Awards or whatever, which in my opinion could be overhauled in a way, right, where the awards were a little bit more reflective of, well, anyway, but because I still go back to
NAACP, bro. No, I'm just kidding.
well, here's the thing. I still go back to the NAACP awards and Soul Food winning over Ease Bayou. Like, to me, that's a bone of contention for me. But anyway,
you still mad since '92.
I'm still mad. I'm still mad for Debbie
97.
Morgan. Period. Across the board, I'm still mad for Debbie Morgan. So but I'm still mad. But no, but I do think that, like you just said, that it's really important to understand that within that industry, right, and the spaces that you get put into and the opportunities that you get and whatever else, this award is very, very important. And no, people aren't gonna not show up. People aren't gonna not be excited that they get nominated. People are not gonna want to leverage that the best way they possibly can, right? And even though we know, as Halle Berry has repeatedly told us, it don't always translate into whatever. I think there are some things that she probably would agree that have happened because she, has that Oscar. So
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about Michael B. Jordan
mm,
and his work with Ryan Coogler. Like, let's talk
mm,
about that relationship as artists, as creatives, as storytellers,
no,
as performers, and really as this dynamic duo that we've seen in Hollywood, Scorsese
mm,
and De Niro, for example.
mm.
Folks, PT Anderson and everybody he works with consistently.
Yes, yes,
Right, right. Like,
right, oh, right,
yeah, yeah. But you see these kind of relationships that form between directors and actors, Spike and Denzel, for instance.
hmm
What do you, and even like directors and like crew, like, I would
hmm
think, Ava and Bradford Young, like that
hmm
stuff, right?
or,
But
or,
like,
or Scorsese and Thelma Schumacher, right?
yes, yes, yeah,
Right,
yeah, exactly.
Spielberg and Janusz Kaminski, like all of
Yes,
them, they
yes, all
always,
this stuff, right, right. So
Mhm.
you have these relationships. Talk about what that means for Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan to have been
Mm.
working together for so long together, and kind of moving through the industry together.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, as I told you before, Michael B. Jordan is my little brother in my head. He don't know it. He is my little brother. And but I love the fact that he and Ryan have established this relationship. They both are in their late 30s, right? And they've been at it since Fruitvale Station, and then Creed, and then Black Panther, and now this with Sinners and stuff. And like you say, building that relationship like Spike did with Denzel, like Scorsese has done with De Niro, and now with Leonardo DiCaprio. And just having that, there is this way in which a trust is built, right? There's a shorthand that was going to happen between them. And they literally came up the ranks together, got their Oscars together, right? And it's just way that they feed into each other. I loved this interview that Mike did with Ryan, where he said that he went to Ryan with a whole other idea, another pitch altogether. And he says that the way it kind of works with them is that Ryan has a pitch, he has a pitch, and the best pitch wins. And he said in this case, Sinners won. So like and then they were like, "Oh, what's the other project?" He said, "We can't say," right? But I love that they have that camaraderie. That's a brotherhood. That's a brotherhood for sure. They love each other. Like when in the speech, right? He was signing "I love you" to him, and Mike saw it and was like, "I love you too, brother, to death." Like, I mean, that's real. That is absolute real. And I have to tell you, it makes me so proud to see that, because that's a create. Not only they are family, like blood aside, they are family, and that is going to very much so enhance the creative work that they do, and they're going to that it's almost like, for me, Mike, when he makes a movie with Ryan Coogler, he's going back home.
Yes.
It's what it
Yes.
It's what I think of it. Oh, I'm going home. Yeah, I can go out here and do this stuff with other people, but when it comes time to come back to Ryan, he's going back home, because they have that connection. And I am so excited to see what they will do beyond this.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look. And this is my first time using this platform, so we'll see how this works. But let's take a look at Michael B. Jordan's speech. Okay. Oh, here we go. All right. Let's go ahead and do it like this. Uh-oh. Look at me. Ha!
Look at you. Man. I love Tiana Taylor so much. Let's see.
Okay.
That will never get old.
Never. It will never get old.
I mean, I think the thing about that is that I was reading also too some reports of people who were there, and they talked about how thunderous the applause was when he won. And this is a good dude. Like, I mean, I love the way he looked back at Jesse Plemons and pointed at him from their Friday Night Lights days, and
Yes.
at the messages that Walt Wiley and Susan Lucci have said about him when he worked on All My Children. Like, I mean, people wanted this for him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's why it's so upsetting to me to hear, oh, well, he won because of what Timothy Chalamet said about opera and ballet, or he won because, oh, it's the woke Oscars, or all this other stuff.
Oh my God, Jason Whitlock. I mean, come on. I just could not believe. And let me just say this, and I said this on a previous podcast that I taped earlier. Jason Whitlock is an excellent writer. He was a wonderful editor. He was a great sports journalist at one point. Like, I don't know what has happened.
What has happened to him?
I mean, I remember I used to be very excited to read his work and I've talked to him before and all that kind of stuff. And I just don't know what is going on, because it's unnecessary. Like, that brother, is talented and skilled too. So it's not, there's no point. There's no need.
No need for it. Exactly. That kind of vitriol, right?
Yeah.
And it's just, it is, and what's so interesting to me about it is that these people, and there are tons of them online, right, think that they're taking something away from this moment. They aren't.
No.
They aren't.
No.
Mike has it in his hand. I tweeted, Mike won it, so those of you who don't like it can suck it. That's what you can suck it. Right. I tweeted that completely, and I tweeted the people who, the kind of thing they did. I've always said the people did the same thing with Jasmine Crockett here in Texas, where they were like, I love Jasmine Crockett. They give you this long paragraph how much they love it. And then they go, but I think, right, Ryan Coogler will be back. But that's the only reason you're saying that is because he didn't win. Because if he won, then you'd be online talking about how he didn't deserve it. My thing is that y'all save all of that. You're not affecting anything. You're not changing how we view this. We're not changing how we look at this. There are more of us that love it than you that hate it. So, Mike, that moment, man, that's an entire industry, right? Not just for Mike, but the applause that Sinners got over. The voters said one thing, but clearly, right, this will be the film, I think, right, that we will be talking about a long time from now. That sequence in the middle, right, the history of music and the blues and all that, that's going to be studied for. I've already introduced it in my class to talk about mise en scène, right? I mean, that's going to be part of the discussion forever, and that's not to belittle Paul Thomas Anderson, because we know better.
Oh, Paul Thomas Anderson is just like, I mean, he literally could win an Oscar for every movie he makes.
PTA is a G. We know that. I'm like you. One Battle After Another did not resonate with me the same way. I think I appreciate it. It's a technical achievement, like you would believe.
Yes.
But I had some problems with what I feel is a fetishization of Black women. I felt like, any movie that has a band of renegade Black nuns and don't do anything with it as a lost opportunity.
Yes.
I'm like, I thought, oh, we finna do something now.
Yeah,
and
tear that
up. Right. Okay. I saw, or any movie that wastes Regina Hall.
Yes.
You got Regina Hall. Come on.
More Regina Hall. More Regina Hall.
That's like one of the, that's what the OG right there you got. And you're not doing anything with her, right? It's like, so, I mean, and I know that there are people who it resonated with. I know those people. I know who they are, and I get why. Same thing with Marty Supreme. I get why, or whatever else. But this film, I just don't think that this is a movie that will be forgotten.
Yeah, no. I mean, Sinners is so strong thematically. Like, for me, I'm like, even if you, and then technically.
Come on, Autumn.
Right. Come on, Autumn.
Come on, Autumn.
It's so, just well done. And even if you don't like it, and I mean, I will say this. I have said this. If Fruitvale Station had happened with a white director and a white actor and in a rural setting, it would have won every damn Oscar that year.
Yes, it would have.
as an independent film.
Uh-huh.
And so even if you don't like, and I said this too, even if we know Denzel should have won for Malcolm X. Yeah. We know this. He won for Training Day. Was Training Day the greatest movie ever? Well, I like ratchet shit.
I know. So. Let me tell you something. I love Training Day. I don't give a damn. Let me tell you something.
I love Training Day. I love it.
Denzel is amazing in Training Day.
Right, he is. But was it a Malcolm X? It was not. Right. It's a very different type of film.
No.
So we know this, but it doesn't diminish or take away from the fact that whenever Denzel wins, he has earned it. So with Michael B. Jordan, I mean, Fruitvale Station. Period. Mm-hmm. Then on top of that, the Creed franchise. And then on top of that, Black Panther. Right? I'm just like, so what? You don't think he was great in this particular movie? Because it happens. A lot of times Oscars are awarded based on body of work. See, Amy Madigan.
Yeah.
Right? Even though Amy Madigan was great. She was great. I mean, she's like an amazing actor.
She's an amazing actress.
Yeah. She's amazing.
And Gladys was bonkers. Was for her to do that.
Off the wall, right?
Off
the wall. So I mean, like, you can't take anything away from her. Mm. But we know Amy Madigan should have been winning. Look, 25 times before this. Like, we know the 80s, she owned the 80s. Yeah. She owned the 90s. The early 2000s, she owned it, right?
Yeah, we know that. Yeah.
She should have been winning back then.
We know her husband should have an Oscar by now too.
Yeah, didn't he get one for Pollock?
He didn't win.
He didn't get one for Pollock?
No, he didn't win that year.
I thought he won.
Ed Harris.
He should have won for Pollock.
He should have.
Oh, he should have won for Pollock. Mm-hmm. So this is my point. This is proving our point, right?
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, he won for because like what happens is, like in your head, you have your winners, right? And so
that's how I feel about Debbie Morgan and these.
yes. In your head, it's like, I mean, she won the Oscar in '97. Debbie Morgan won the Oscar in '97, right? Best Supporting Actress.
She did.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Lynn Whitfield. She won Best Actress in '97, didn't she? Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So because like in your head, like with Ed Harris and Pollock, in my mind, there's no way he could not win the Best Actor. There's no way he could not win that. No. Like, there's no way. Anyway, okay, so he didn't win. I don't even know who won that year. But anyway, my point is, sometimes it's your year, sometimes it's not your year, but it does not diminish the value or the body of work. This is why people don't want to give, Jamie Foxx his credit, because he was making what was it, Bait and some other stuff.
Booty Call.
Booty Call, like some other stuff. Before he did, Ray Charles, they're like, his body of work doesn't speak to the fact that he should win an Oscar. Yeah. That man won that Oscar that year. And yes, I love Leonardo DiCaprio. And Leonardo DiCaprio in The Aviator, like, undeniable. I think Leonardo DiCaprio probably should have won, but I was not mad that Jamie Foxx won because he was amazing in that role, right? So sometimes body of work does matter. And so there's a lot that goes.
By the way, I'm taking Russell Crowe won for Gladiator of the year.
And Gladiator is a knockoff of Spartacus. And Spartacus is like one of my all-time favorites. Kirk Douglas. Okay, I'm sorry. So this is what I love talking about, because I get to be me.
There you go.
I was like, Kirk Douglas and Spartacus will never, like, please stop trying to make it. Like, they keep trying to make it. Mm-hmm. You're never going to top Spartacus. Spartacus is a perfect film. It's a perfect film. Mm-hmm. You're never going to make anything that's close to it. You put Russell Crowe in it. You can put, what's the name, the other one? Joaquin Phoenix. You put all of them in. Mm-hmm. It don't matter. It's never, ever, ever going to top it on. Nothing can top Spartacus. Nothing can top Spartacus. The last scene of the film, never. It will not be topped. Okay, so let's get back to what we talk about. Okay. Because I will talk about Spartacus.
I'll make that clear.
2 hours. 2 hours. I talk about him, John Ford, all of them. Those all white men are my people. In my head.
My people.
So my point is this. When we think about Michael B. Jordan, whether or not you thought he deserved it, is not really of consequence in certain ways when you look at the history of the Academy Awards. Right. Because sometimes you have people who win, even like with Sean Penn winning he didn't need a third Oscar. Sean Penn is like top 10 best actors ever. No. Period. Harvey Milk, he didn't have to make another movie after Milk. Like, he didn't have to make another movie after that. He was proven before that. Mm-hmm. He don't have to do nothing.
I mean, the man was just Spicoli at the very beginning, right?
Yes.
But speaking of Sean Penn, I want to say something about him. Here's what I think is really, really interesting about that, because people were making a bit of a deal about the fact that Uncle Delroy didn't clap, right? I said, first of all, Uncle Delroy's personality is he don't.
He's a Brit.
Yeah, exactly. Uncle Elroy don't be hopping up and down. You
Oh,
know,
we're in
he
Jamaica, right? He ain't
yeah,
talking
exactly.
to nobody.
Unc don't get down like that. First of all, Unc gonna give you your props. He gonna hug you, but Unc show his in other ways. But then on the other hand, I'm going like, my man been at it a long time.
Yeah.
And to see, and here's what I think is really interesting: that Sean Penn, arguably whatever you think about his performance in One Battle, good, bad, we know he's a great actor.
Mm-hmm.
But we also know too that there's a way that he can crap on the system and crap on that process in ways that say Benicio del Toro can't. The way Elroy can't do that, right?
Yes, right.
And for him to just like, oh, I ain't going, I'm going. And then people, oh, he went to the Ukraine or whatever. For him to kind of do the things that he does and still can get the Oscar shows you right there's a double standard, right? In terms of how things work with that. And so, yeah, like you said,
I'm sorry, but since we talk about who should have won, we know Delroy Lindo should have won for West Indian Charlie.
Oh,
Archie,
for one thing, West Indian Archie, they should have won for West Indian Archie, and then he had another one for the Five Bloods. You know that.
Yes, the Five. Oh my God, the Five Bloods. That movie should have taken like every Oscar. Period. That and we could talk about this forever.
You can talk about that.
Yeah, so I mean, Delroy Lindo, he don't have to clap, and the fact that Sean Penn wasn't there is also something, because I was just like, even when I do my Burton Wire awards, if you don't come, you don't get the award. Like you're not coming to accept in person. You're not getting it.
You don't get it.
Look, you got to send somebody, and like you got to have a real good reason. Like I'll do that, but other than that, you're not coming. Oh.
And this is a man who's even talked about melting his Oscars down and giving it to this is a man who's talking about. And I get it, man. Look, let me tell you something. I got mad respect for Sean Penn because I saw what he did during Hurricane Katrina.
Yes.
I saw, it's not even about his activism or whatever else. We're talking about more specifically, right, his relationship to his industry.
Yes.
And the way that he can, right, and still be lauded where other people don't have that luxury.
No.
To be able to do that.
And I think Delroy Lindo, it's time. Like, it's been his time. It's like performance after performance after performance. I mean, he's even great in like streamers. Like whenever right, he's great in whatever he's in, whatever he touches. So, and I'm like, we also in this day and age, especially having come off what happened to him at the BAFTA Awards.
Yes.
And Michael B. Jordan at the BAFTA Awards. We don't have to perform happiness when we don't. When Angela Bassett was like, what the hell last year? We don't have to perform happiness to make you feel better about getting some shit that we don't
can be disappointed.
Right? Yeah, you can be disappointed. You can be like, oh my God, I didn't win. You can be feel some kind of way and you can show it. Like,
yes, you can show it. I'm human.
Right. Well, people are
who don't want to win.
Right.
Who is it that does not want to win? Right.
And people are very comfortable policing Black people.
Yes. I mean, look at what they're doing to Tiana.
Yes.
Too excited. Heaven forbid somebody was happy to be there.
Yes, exactly. And then trying to villainize her for standing up for herself for the overly aggressive
security guard. Exactly.
I was like, what? He put his hands on her? Listen, actually, let's just go ahead and get this out right now. This don't have to do with film, but this is just Black people. For those of you who don't know Black people, you cannot touch us unless we tell you to touch us.
Yeah.
If we do not invite you to touch us, do not touch us. It is historical trauma, especially as it relates to Black women. We are dealing with it even in this day and age, 2026. We have not had historically ownership over our bodies,
right,
and over who can have access to our bodies. And this is Black men and women. I'm just saying this as a Black woman. Thus and so, some of us do not play that shit. Like, if you put your hand, like, you can say whatever, and you'll see it. Like, when you watch these videos that go viral and go around, and the white guy be yapping, it's usually a white guy or white woman, and they're yapping, they call you all kinds of N words, they might even spit on all kinds of stuff. But once they make contact, it's curtains. You are gonna need the smelling sauce. You're going to the hospital. Something's gonna happen. So the fact that Harlem, Tiana Taylor, did not come out and whip his ass is all the control she needed to show culturally. So I just need white people to know that, or non-Black people to know that if you put your hands on us, Like, this is what, that's what Best Rhyme said. Put your hands where my eyes can see.
Yeah.
If you put your hands on me, that's it for you. That's it for you.
Yeah.
Right. And so this whole villainizing of her, because and I thought she was respectful with it. Like, as respectful as she could be, right? Telling this guy to not touch her and to be respectful. And not because of who she is, as a fellow human being. Right. Was fine. But yeah, I mean, to your point, reading all the little stuff into it and trying to make her seem like a bad person. Tiana Taylor weighs probably 90 pounds. I don't even think she weighs 90 pounds.
Right.
Nobody, especially a man, should be putting their hands on her in any way, shape, or form unless she says so.
Unless she says so. And I don't care what he was doing.
Of course.
And, but I think, but she handled it, like you say, just beautifully. I think the way that she did it, right? Because like you said, considering what we know, what could have happened, right?
Yes.
And she let him know in no uncertain terms, you will not do this, right? What is wrong with that? By that same token, too, what is wrong with her being happy that Amy Madigan won? Amy Madigan showed the same level of enthusiasm when she won Golden Globe. Like, so heaven forbid, and Amy Madigan has said, I've gotten to know these people over the course of the year. I've been hanging out with the Centers people. I've gotten to know Wagner Moore. I've gotten to Tiana. I've gotten to know them.
Yep.
So why wouldn't they be happy for each other, right? And I think there's this way too that where I think sometimes as Black people think, particularly in spaces like that, if we cheer for these white people, whatever, like you kind of like we Uncle Tom and a Bojangling, but it's really it's not that. Those relationships are important for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just like me, us being in our job and we know the dean, we know the president of the college or the vice chancellor. It's important to have those connections and for the people to see you and know the work that you're doing.
Yes.
Because sometimes when it comes time for an opportunity, oh, you know what? I know who we can get for that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so, this whole policing of the Black, which I thought was fascinating. I was like, they're talking about Delroy Lindo, they're talking about Tiana Taylor, and I'm just like, are y'all just gonna focus on the Black people? And maybe it's just my algorithm, because my algorithm.
Maybe it's mine too, because I was noticing that too. I said, why is it the Black folks are always the one? Why we can't do nothing right in this space?
No. I said, and I'm blackity black, so my algorithm tends to be blackity black. So I was like, let me start clicking on some other stuff. Let me put it in Madigan, let me put it in Sean Penn, and let me see what's coming up, and it's just this very kind of like double standard. And I think you hit the nail on the head with Sean Penn, who I think is a fantastic activist, like on many, he's doing his thing. But but yeah, he can do whatever he wants, and they're just like, oh, he didn't come because he's helping out the Ukraine.
Never mind.
They didn't say, oh, he thumbed his nose at, because they could have said that.
They could have said that.
And true, he'll come out on stage and cuss you out. Like, he'll let you know you ain't shit, your mama ain't shit, your babies ain't gonna be shit. I mean, I'll take this award. I'm probably gonna throw it away tomorrow, but thank you. Like, that is the tenor of some of his.
And I'm gonna smoke a cigarette at your ceremony too, even though I know they say you can't smoke.
Exactly. So to have people like Tiana Taylor policed and Delroy Lindo policed, and then because the award shows, one of my favorite things about award shows is when someone wins and they cut to the people who didn't. Because I'm always like, what are they doing? How are they gonna hide it? Or they gonna celebrate? Yeah. So I mean, the fact that somebody is celebrating someone else's win, when we do have people who sometimes get up and walk out of the ceremony.
Or what Eddie Murphy say, I ain't gonna sit there and be dressed as I want to come no way and put this suit on. I ain't sitting here all day. I'm out.
I'm Eddie Murphy, bitches.
Eddie Murphy said.
Sayonara, we out. Come on, let's go.
Let's go. Get your stuff. I mean, it's just super interesting. And then the way Kieran Culkin was kind of, some people said some kind of negative things about him because he said, well, Sean Penn either couldn't be here or didn't want to be here. and I'm not the biggest Kieran fan. Sometimes I think I'm holding some succession against him. But Kieran Culkin was like, and everybody was like, oh, he owes Sean Penn an apology. No, he don't. Because that was no truest statement made.
Yes, exactly.
He either can't be here or don't want to.
Well, he said it because we were all thinking it.
And we was all thinking exactly. Karen didn't do nothing but say what we were already thinking.
Thank you for your community service, Karen, because we were all thinking it.
It was out there. Karen said, I ain't gonna be up here talking about we accept this on his behalf. No, he either can't be here or don't want to. No.
Yes. So when we get to the Oscars, last person that we're gonna talk about, of course, is Ryan Coogler. We're saving the best for last, and we love. So just say we're biased. I feel like I can comment on you, for you on this. We are totally biased towards Ryan Coogler. It have been since. I mean, even what was that movie he made that won ABFF? It was a short film. You know what I'm talking about. This is predates Fruitvale. He just has it. He has it. He's been amazing. The way that he talks about his wife, and as a woman who, and I'm what is it? Cisgender heterosexual woman. We like our men to acknowledge us and to treat us like queens, the queens that we are. We love that shit, and we love to see it being done to another Black woman, woman in general, but definitely a Black woman, right? Yeah. So, and
that short is locks.
Yes. We love it. So, let's take a look at, and then the fact that he signs, we love that too. I mean, because so many people, and if you on social media, and this is when because we're scholars, so we know all of the bad stuff about social media. One of the really good things about social media is when you get exposed to a community that you're not a part of, and you see how much him signing means to that community.
Yes.
And they
Zinzi was his wife Zinzi was a ASL interpreter too.
Yes. And so anyway, let's just watch him, and then we're gonna talk about it, and then we're gonna close out. Okay, let's share the screen. All right, let's do it. We're gonna do this.
Look at that. So can I start out by saying, first of all, Ryan Coogler, that's a good man, Savannah. That's a good man, Savannah. First of all, my brother got a guitar and a treble clef in his head, and Zinzi is fine as hell, and but this brother. When Autumn Durald Akapal, first Black woman, first Filipino, first woman, period, right, to win cinematography, he runs back and gets her son to bring him up closer so he can hear his mother's speech. And Jessie Buckley wins Best Actress. Ryan Coogler goes across the aisle and hugs Chloe Zhao, the director of that film, Hamnet. And I'm just like, this is a good dude. Look at this is what he said on that stage. The way he talked about his wife, the way he talked about his children.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I know, it's like, what is there to say? Okay, but I do want to say this to all Ryan Coogler haters: kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
I don't care what the brother
with an open toe shoe.
I don't care what the brother does from henceforth and forevermore. He can do no wrong to me. Like, I mean, the work is amazing. It is consistently great. It is incredible in many ways. Even though I'm a scholar, I know I keep saying this, but I need y'all to understand. We don't like a whole lot of stuff because we've been trained to deconstruct, right? The argument, right? So like, it's hard for us. Like, I had to train myself to, even after film school and get my PhD and all that stuff, to watch a film for entertainment value, like to not just sit there and just tear it apart. Yeah. I had to train myself to do that, right? But I will say this about, even if you didn't think that Sinners was a great film, if you didn't like it per se, because it was just too different, if you didn't really understand it or what have you, trust and believe, just thematically, it is one of the strongest films, certainly in 2026, but I would say last 50 years, like one of the strongest films thematically. And it is a film, why I love it, in addition to the entertainment value, I think the performances are great. I mean, Delroy Lindo if Delroy Lindo is doing a vacuum cleaning commercial, I'm gonna watch it, tape it, and watch it over and over. You know what I mean? Like, it don't matter. Whatever he does, I'm gonna see it. I don't care what he does. I'm gonna see it. I mean, just the talent that was in there, the way that he, the Afrofuturism that was in there, the looking backwards to go forward, the Sankofa piece. Like, it was so rich in that way. And so that's what I celebrate about the film. I think it's more psychological thriller than horror for me, in that category. But you cannot deny the quality and consistency of this man's work. In addition to, and I would say Michael B. Jordan is the same way, the fact that he has toed the line, and a lot of people get caught up, with the respectability politics and things like that. And they're like, oh, you only like them because they come from a 2-parent household. Oh, you only like them because he loves his kids. Yeah, that's okay too. Somebody who overcame some, and just because you come from a 2-parent household doesn't mean you don't have challenging circumstances. Right?
No, right, exactly.
It was, all peaches and cream. But you can root for people because they have delivered on what they received, and that they honor their parents and honor their children and value their families and value their ancestors. You can root for those people. I'm gonna give you permission. Black people, I'm gonna give you permission. It doesn't mean that you're being respectable necessarily. And I do agree with some of the respectability politics that happen in our communities. Like, they are problematic. But it is okay to be like, oh my God, you have done a great job. You are living your life wonderfully, at least as we see it. I want you to win. I want you to continue to do great. It is okay to say that and not give a damn about what non-Black people think.
Exactly. I mean, I love that Michael B. Jordan said, I know y'all want me to do well. I know y'all want this for me. And I'm going to try to, own up. I'm going to live up to that.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that, because we do want him to do well. We want Ryan to do well. We want Barry Jenkins to do well. We want Neil DaCosta to do well. We do. Yes. We
want them to win and to continue win. And not only in this professional space, but in life.
In life.
And that's the burden of representation. That is the burden of representation. When you have had to, when you haven't had ownership in this industry, when you have been erased in this industry, when you have been made hyper visible for the worst parts about you, and when you have not had your full humanity on full display in this industry, when the things that you have done well in your personal life have contributed to the type of work that you're doing. We don't see a lot of that, especially as it relates to Black people in the industry. No. We see them behind the scenes, right? We know about Black LA. If you live in Black LA, you live in New York, There's Black LA, there's Black New York, there's
Yeah.
Black Atlanta, right? So you have your communities. And so people see your families. They're part of your family, like live in the same neighborhoods, all of
Mhm.
that. But the rest of the world doesn't get to see that most,
Right.
necessarily. So it's okay to want to see people win and to champion them, even if you're like, I mean, I loved him in Fruitvale Station, but I don't know about this. That's okay. You can have that idea.
Yeah.
You don't have to run people down. You don't have to be mean-spirited about it, and you don't have to
Yes.
perform criticism because of what white people might think.
I agree. I wholeheartedly. One of the things that really just burns me up really online is the people. Oh, sinners ain't nothing but dust till dawn. Well, that's not true.
Mm-mm.
That's not, no. The only thing they have in common is a shack and vampires.
And we love Bob. I was surprised that his friends called him Bob, but Roberto Rodriguez, we love him. El Mariachi, top 5 independent film all time. I would put it at #1 based on how they made it.
Right.
Based on how they made it. I mean, if you sold blood to get your film made, I'm gonna put you in #2. Yeah. But if you didn't do that, that's at #1 for me. That's #1.
But and I think the way that people kind of lean on what they've done more than anything is they don't even mention Robert Rodriguez. They mention Quentin Tarantino, right?
Yes.
And in this way, right, that we're gonna pit, well, Quentin is better, Quentin is better. Okay, that's fine. You got your disciple, but we can have ours too, right? I mean, it's very the way, and then also too the way, right? The prognosticators and everybody else, right, that are online going, and we're talking about one film by a Black director in how many years? How many? Sinners got 16 nominations. It shouldn't have. Okay, one movie.
One.
First
feature film, 1915.
Okay, thank you.
First feature film, 1915.
We are 2 years removed from 100 years of the Academy Award, history of the Academy Award.
Right.
Like, come on, y'all. And the fact that only 6, but you telling me that only 6 Black performances have been worthy.
Yep.
By Black actors in the lead category in 98 years.
Yeah, exactly. And because the first Academy Awards were what, 1933?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So exactly. Like over the course of filmmaking, right? And then within that system of awards, y'all are mad about 6 films. Like, if y'all don't get out of here with that,
exactly. Like, really, like, just stop. I mean, it's just so much, and then they go, well, you are calling us racist because we don't like sinners. Some of y'all, because the language that you're using says it. You're not critiquing that film, and then the kind of the reductive nature of the way they speak about Ryan Coogler's talent and all this other, and then the way that some Black critics online have felt that they had to kind of get in on that. I'm not going to call in. I ain't going to run.
Well, I know who they are, and they didn't got to talk about them. Look, we talk about y'all offline.
Work for major publication for critics,
haters,
and display. Well, I don't think. Why are you doing that?
Yes, if you can critique a film and not vilify, be mean-spirited, say it's in service to the woke agenda, whatever you want to, is it a DEI Oscar, like that kind of shit. We have the language and tools, and that's what pisses me off about some of these people. They actually have the language, they have the tools, they have the skill set in order to critique a film. Like, you don't have to like Sinners. But it's the way that you're talking about it. It's the way that you're talking about Ryan Coogler. It's the way you're talking about Michael B. Jordan. You can effectively critique a film and say that basically you don't like it or didn't resonate with you or whatever, and not tear down the people who made the film.
Exactly.
Like, it's possible.
It's very possible to do that. Right. I mean, it is. I mean, and I just kind of think about that. Like,
challenge yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Really. Stretch it. Just try it and see how you like it. I'm just, but it just like I've looked at some Black critics, right, that kind of talked about this, and again, just because you're Black, you ain't got to like it. But at the same point, why are you talking about it like that? And you're doing it under this guise because you're using all the you and I both know the fancy film critic words you got to use. The analysis. Oh, look at this. This one is different. See, they just don't like. And then they do their top 10 list, and it's all these obscure films. Okay. Well, here's the thing. You know why you got those on your top 10 list? Because you got a free pass to see those movies. Those are a lot of those movies don't come to places where people can see them.
Yes,
They
exactly.
don't know that about, so you're not setting yourself apart from everybody else by trashing Sinners or not liking Sinners or disregarding Sinners because here are all these other films, right? That you done got a free pass to see. So it's like, I mean,
and you haven't held the other films to the same standard.
No, you have not.
That's the other thing, right? You haven't held the other films to the same standard. I'm like, there are a lot, one bad after another. If I didn't have to watch that because I have to watch it, you know what I mean? Like opening scene and stuff, like the fetishization of the black character. Like that's not something I would choose to watch, right? But I'm like, I'm a scholar. I got to get, and I love Teyana Taylor. I love P.T. Anderson. I love everybody. Everybody in the film. I love them, right? Like they're my favorite actors. Benicio del Toro can do no wrong, right? Right. So I'm going to see the film. But those same people, I didn't see those types of critiques about that film, right? It was just all like, and I was just like, I mean, I feel like it's a great film, like it's a Hollywood film with A-list actors, but I don't know if it's a Academy Award worthy film. I'm not saying it wasn't, but I wasn't convinced that it was.
Especially when you look at his other work, and so for the same reason, that's a legacy award for PTA.
Yeah. So I would not say, but I would never say that P.T. Anderson ain't shit.
No,
like his films are uneven. Or
First of all,
there's no reason for that.
Calling myself a film scholar, I ain't worth the letters that it took to make the word film scholar. If I say that, because that's not true.
It's
right?
not true.
But I think it's okay for me to say, without people thinking I'm making a big deal out of it, okay, look at the way he's portraying Black women in his film, and then look at the way Wumi Masako is presented to us in Sinners.
Yes.
Right. Or look at the way, because I don't know what Black woman Haley Steinfeld worked with, but baby, she was an excellent student because boy, if you don't get out of my face. Okay. She's been working with it. No, but when you see, I was like, what? Okay. So when you see that, right, and the way that he's kind of playing the different, or Jamie Lawson, right, yes, the differences of Black women and the way that those women, we can hold. There is a difference there.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's right for discussion.
It's right for discussion,
and you don't have to tear anybody down to have the discussion. But the way they talk about these brothers, you nailed it. I mean, the way they're like the language.
You know how
they talk about Teyana Taylor too. It's just the language is just so disrespectful.
It's very disrespectful.
And it's not only Black critics, but those are the ones we follow and interact with most of the time. But to see them going so hard on Sinners, and you just ain't done. You ain't said nothing about La La Land. Talk about it's music. It's just too much. I was confused. I didn't know what was happening. Am I in a musical? Am I not? And I was like, nah, I've been reading your stuff for years. Like, I follow you. We're like friendly in person. You ain't have like 2 words to say about La La Land.
You didn't say that.
But you talk about this. Like,
or the rappers who done got online talking about, I don't understand Sinners. Boy, keep that, bro. Keep that to yourself, okay?
I was like, look, and not to diss all rappers, because I like smart rappers, and they do.
Yes. No, they know what rappers I'm talking about. The ones
I need you to go have a conversation with Bun B, because I'm sure he could break it down for you.
Yeah, or Vic Mensa.
Yeah, Vic Mensa, Killer Mike. Like, some people can talk to you about Sinners and have like a real, kind of informed conversation with you about it. So like, it's before you get online talking about, I don't know what happened.
Talk about it on the phone and ask.
Read a book this year, like this decade. Read a book. Stop listening to although I love podcasts and listen to our podcast. Yes. But stop just listening to any old body.
Stop watching YouTube videos.
Exactly. To the extent that you watch, and I will sit there and watch. If my algorithm is algorithming, I will go from one thing to the next, and I'll be like, "Oh my god, I have to grade papers. I just wasted 3 hours, right? I could have been grading papers, right?
Yep.
Or something like that." So I get it, but you do have to. Like, I'm reading Ken now. Like, I made myself read Ken. I'm almost done, and I was like, okay, now I have to make myself read another book because there's so much media,
It's so much.
different forms of media, and books are a form of media too. But there's so much visual media that's out there and available to you at all times, and I love short content.
Uh-huh.
2 minutes or less.
It does the work for you, so you don't have to.
Hooked. And so I'm just like, okay, I have to make myself. I used to read a book a week. I used to watch 3 films a week. Now I'm like down to maybe a film every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
A book a month, maybe a book every 6 to 8 weeks. And I was like, okay, I got to do this. So anyway, to get back to the point is, with Sinners, there is plenty of information out there. People have written some amazing scholarship. They've written some great criticism about it. I mean, not all positive.
Not all positive.
It's like some very fair critiques of the film, and things of that nature. So it's out there. So, stop being a hater. That's why I said on my last, podcast, I was like, just stop being a hater. Like, there's a difference between critiquing and being a hater. And just because you don't agree with something doesn't make you a hater. It doesn't. But it's the way that you do it, the words that you use, the language that you use, and how you talk about people.
Exactly.
That communicates that to you. So
and the way you talk about people's talent. Look, you and I both know getting movies made is hard.
I
don't care if you making Sinners or you making Waterboy or you whatever. It is hard to get movies made. And so how as we say, it's mighty white of you or whatever, to sit in your armchair and go, and it's like, well, where's your movie coming out? When is your book coming out? You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean that things are, exempt from criticism because of those things, but still appreciate the fact too, right, that a lot of blood and sweat and tears went into getting that film made.
Yes.
And so I don't like trashing people's work online. If I don't like it, I always say, it wasn't for me, but you should see it.
Yeah, and stop wanting people to do the same thing over and over.
Stop that.
It's okay. It's like when Andre came out with his Andre 3000 came out with his
food album.
And I was like, people are like, oh my God. I said, that is the most hip hop thing that he has done his entire career. That is the most hip hop. It's not hip hop. I don't know. It's not hip hop. That is the most hip hop thing he's done his entire career. Doing something different is hip hop. That is hip hop. Making something different is hip hop. The same thing with Ryan Coogler. Doing something different is reasonable. Trying something different, trying to tell a different story, trying to tell stories in different ways. It's creativity, it's innovation, right? So we have to hold space for that. It doesn't. Every Academy Award winning performance doesn't have to look the same.
No, it doesn't.
It's not the same. It doesn't have to be the same type of movie. It doesn't.
And
so I want people to think about that too.
And you know what else is so interesting to me too about this too is the way in which, like, sometimes, and I get the sentiment. Let me just start out by saying that. But we as Black people, for example, will say things like, I'm tired of movies with showing us struggling and and we win Oscars for this, didn't need that. And I said, well, if you look at the history of the Oscars, I think Kristen Warner just said something similar to this, and something I just read of hers not too long ago that she had written, or no, actually it was an interview she gave. But this is something I've said myself too, and Kristen Warner, just in case y'all, there's another film scholar at
she's amazing. She's amazing.
Amazing. So, but Chris, and I agree with that, where, if you look at the history and the trajectory of the Oscars, people win for playing downtrodden. Nobody really wins for, I mean, it's because, again, of the way also too, I think we read acting, the bigger the acting is. I think Richard Brody said something very, very interesting about Sean Penn winning, is that he won for not necessarily the best acting, but the most acting, right?
Yes.
So if it's the most acting, right, people are like, yes, but then there's something subtle, and I don't know how that went. They didn't do nothing. I've heard people say that about Amy Madigan's performance in Weapons. And I'm like, what movie did you watch? Because that woman went from almost playing her to a damn near almost caricature to turn into this just ferociously frightening scene at the table. And then, I said, acting I think that as I teach this in my classes, an article I read in the Guardian where people say we don't really have a vocabulary to talk about acting in our everyday culture. Right. That people just kind of, you ask people, my students, for example, I asked them to talk to me about the acting, they tell me what the person did in the film. I said, that's not discussing acting. That's just talking about the plot or the story or whatever else. So I think there's this way too that, we want to win for playing Malcolm X and all that, but I don't think it's bad for us to win for playing Alonzo Harris, because we aren't monoliths. We're not all good people.
Right.
We ain't all good. Just like we don't all bad,
Right. And every performer wants to stretch.
Yes.
Every performer wants to do something. Like, listen, sometimes performers make a decision. Right. When you're like, oh, they're typecast, they're in the same thing over and over. That's them and their agent deciding, listen, these are your bills. This is what people are going to come see you in. These are the kind of roles that you're going to get. This is the kind of money that you're going to make. And that's enough for them.
Yeah.
But real actors want to stretch. They want to play lots of different roles. They want to be every type of like even what was it, Zoe Saldana? Zoe Saldana, y'all can say what y'all want about Zoe Saldana. That's a talented sister. That sister is talented. Okay. When she played Nina Simone and people were like, oh, why would she do that? What black actress
wouldn't want to play Nina Simone?
What white actress wouldn't want to play Nina Simone? They have to fight them broads off. Yes. I'm sure they did. I'm sure. I have no proof. No proof. There was some Latinx age, whatever, who was in the mix. I'm sure of it. Who wouldn't want to play Nina Simone? Who wouldn't? Yeah. And so, when we think about, these actors and how they're stretching and they're doing different roles, and maybe they were great at one thing and they weren't great at this. They have that's what we want. We want people to be creative. We want people to try different things. We want people to try to create different types of stories, to tell different types of stories, and to play different types of characters. And we don't always have to have the same thing over and over. That's the problem. That's why you don't go to the movies anymore. Because within 2 seconds, the first 30 seconds of a trailer, you already know how the movie's going. You know the whole movie and how it's going to end.
Yeah.
That's it. That's why people aren't going to the movies. They want something different. They want something new. And Sinners was different.
Gave us that.
Nothing else. It was different.
It was different. And like, you were saying about Zoe Saldana, I think that's really true, that she can make that film and want to make it. But then from a critical side, we can look at it and say, that's probably a misstep.
Yes. Absolutely.
But you're right. I mean, I think you're so true about this how much money you're gonna make. These are the choices. That's why Djimon Hounsou is in a killer shark movie, right?
Yes.
I mean, this is what he's being offered, right? Barry Jenkins just making the rounds now online. But Barry Jenkins say, look, I had an agent with CAA and a deal with Focus Features, and I was working at Banana Republic.
Right. Exactly.
I had all the stuff that I thought, this is going to take me away from Banana Republic. And I'm at Banana Republic folding shirts.
That's right.
Yeah. And I don't think people understand that, by the same token, that all these people aren't rich in the way that you think,
Yes.
Yeah. So you're right. People, we need to put those kind of biases aside and, like you say, really kind of pay attention to really what's happening in the industry. And when you get somebody like a Ryan Coogler, Ryan Coogler, every movie he's made has been a hit.
Absolutely. Everyone.
Huge,
one after the other.
Right?
And people are like, how did he get that deal? How was he able to? He's proven. Even if he's not proven to you because you think a black man is less than in your little mind. That's what
because you didn't like the movie.
Right. Doesn't mean he's not proven. People in the industry know that brother is proven. They know if he puts out a Geico commercial, that shit is going to go viral. They can charge $25 and enough of us. I'd be like, hey, Mark, what theater we going to go see that in?
We got to go because I ain't seen a lizard do what that lizard did. What else?
He brought out the best in that lizard.
Academy Award winning lizard. It's true, and people can try to paint this up with, and we've seen it. People try to paint this up, the fancy word, and the Zuckerberg, and we can talk like that when we need to. We know we can, right? Absolutely. But but the bottom line is the industry is the industry, right?
Period.
As is, period, right? And for him to be able to, and I do think too, there's some resentment about that deal he made about the rights reverting back to him.
Absolutely.
I said there's resentment of that.
Yes.
But you can't be worried about that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can't be worried about that. And not only can it be worried, but we can also be happy.
Celebratory. Yes. We can
celebrate the fact that he made that deal.
That's right. That's right. And honor that.
And honor that.
And then, as you know, and we're gonna end now because we can do this all day. But what I love about Black people, this is why I love us. I mean, I love everybody, obviously. Mm-hmm. But what I love about Black people is when we open the door for others.
Yes.
Him getting that deal means that somebody else, white, Black, female, male, woman, cisgender, transgender, whatever, has the opportunity to eventually negotiate that kind of deal.
That's right.
That's all that is, right? And so we open doors for other people in a way because we think innovatively and we are not risk averse, because living in America, being Black in America, he from the Bay too, does not, and surviving that does not give you the space to be risk averse.
No.
Getting a PhD is a risk.
Yes.
Becoming a filmmaker is a risk. Being a screenwriter and you from East Detroit is a risk. Right? These are all risky things to do. Standing on your value in the market and saying, I'm not doing this unless I get this, this, and this is a risk. They could have cut him off. They could have been like, hell no, and canceled him.
Yes.
It could have happened. It didn't. Right? Because they know his talent and his capabilities and that he's going to deliver every single time. He don't have no sophomore jinxes.
No, he doesn't.
Right?
He doesn't have it.
He don't have it.
He don't have it.
So he is proven. So that's what I want you to get from this. I mean, I want you to get a whole lot from it. And I'm so thankful to Dr. Mark Cunningham for joining me today on this. But I want you to understand not only how the industry works, why these men should be celebrated, these people. The sister, cinematographer, who is multiracial.
Yes.
I'm talking about she's Asian, she's this, she's multiracial. She identifies as Black, Filipino, and all her categories. So we claiming her.
We claiming. I've seen some Filipino people that they claiming her too. We all got to get a piece of Autumn. We like,
yes, we take Autumn. Yeah, Autumn's in the club. I mean, she in the club. So the point is that she had to cook out. But the point is that there are lots of wins to celebrate with this film. And there are ways that you can talk about it constructively. And that these are two, we focused a lot on Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler, but these are two people that you can be proud of.
Yeah.
And not because some respectability politics, it's because of what they have done, how they have moved in this industry, which is very hard to navigate. Michael B. Jordan is a child actor. People forget about that.
People forget about that. And that's the thing, when you ain't paying attention to us, and they'll say, "Oh, Michael just got on the scene. He not overdue." Say you. More overdue than what you're trying to make Timothy Chalamet be.
Yep, 100%. 100%.
Mike's been at it. Mike Training Ground was a soap opera. Like you said, we filmed an episode and a half a day. He says 100 pages a day.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. So.
And when you say one of your teachers is Susan Lucci.
Yep.
He said, I didn't go to school for this. He said, that was my education. He said, my teachers were Darnell Williams, Walt Wiley, and Susan Lucci. He said, those are my teachers.
Exactly.
Exactly. Somewhere.
Exactly. And you have traveled.
And you have traveled.
It's been a journey. And so we can respect that and we can celebrate that and we can celebrate him because we, if not because of who he is as an artist and as a person, because we've celebrated so many other people who have done.
Yes.
Who have been.
Yes. Yes.
Nothing else. Right.
Yes.
They are worthy of celebration. So.
And like you were saying, because we know folks gonna critique them, so we need to celebrate as strong as we critique.
Exactly.
Because I'm seeing people now. Well, what's Ryan Coogler's queer politics? And what I say, y'all, what's that got to do with anything happening right now?
Yes.
I'm not saying you can't have those discussions, but
yes, just looking for something.
They are looking for something to tear this brother down, and like you say, celebration. That's what we about.
Right. So we celebrating. We've been celebrating. Still celebrating.
Because
Don't celebrate.
my eyes was full of water when Mike won.
Oh.
I ain't even ashamed to say it. I was crying like my first cousin.
No, should you? I mean, it is touching. It was touching. It is touching when someone is, and what was also about his speech is that he was so humble, and so surprised.
Yeah.
Like he just was like,
did you see that moment when they called his name and you can see the error just
yes.
You can see it.
Yes. And people, I feel like my sister says this about me, and it is true. She said one of her favorite things about me is that when my friends win, she said, I celebrate like I won. And she said, I've always been like that. Always been like that. And it is true. When my friends win, oh my God, I'm doing cartwheels. I feel like I won.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what it was like watching them. Like I felt like I won. I felt like, for all the people who want to be actors, they won that day. For all the people who want to be directors and writers and have, they won that day. For all the people who want to have positive relationships, like publicly in love with their person, they won that day. All the people who want to have like a family that's so important to them that they bring them with them.
Yes.
Right? They won that day.
For all the people looking for a good hair braider, they won that day.
Yes.
They won that day.
Yes. So I mean, there were so many wins that day. So yeah, you should have been like, it's okay to have felt that way. Like we should feel that way. Like I felt like I won that night. I felt like I won that night. So
and that's why when after Mike won, when Best Picture and
didn't matter, did it?
It didn't matter.
Didn't matter.
It did not matter. And I don't think it mattered to them either.
Nope. They already won by getting the movie made and getting it done.
They'd already won.
And breaking box office, right? I mean, they'd already won. The fact that they're in the room, right? So it's like
applause.
Yes. And people were not clapping for it. That's what pisses me off. Because I was like, dear America, people do not clap for Black people because they're Black. They clap for us in spite of it. Please stop running that line.
And just like people like, oh, well, he only won because Timothy Chalamet did that statement. People's like, don't nobody vote on Black people for stuff like that.
No. Nobody cares.
No, they don't care. I said they didn't give him that because that don't mean they gave it to somebody else.
The votes had already been cast.
The votes had already been cast. But I was like, people was like, folks, don't do that for Black people.
No, I was like, can y'all please?
And they were like, oh, it because of the BAFTA thing. People don't vote on Black folks for that.
It's already cast. We're already voting in November and December. We're already voting. Like the votes are already done then. So yeah, all the stuff that happens after that, or you see at the award shows and all this kind of stuff or whatever,
that's a done deal.
It's a done deal. If they trust me, they could have taken Will Smith's Oscar back.
Baby.
They would have done
it.
Couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. It's already done. It was already done.
We're gonna suspend that boy when he gets there. Exactly what they said.
Yes. So, and I love that Michael B. Jordan said his name.
He did.
Because people like,
I ain't gonna play that.
Right. So people pretend like he doesn't even exist. Like they won't even say his name. They don't want to, and it's just like,
Mike didn't do that. And Mike named all of them, including Halle Berry.
Absolutely.
He named them all.
Absolutely. So we are this is fun. I guess we're gonna have to do it again. Look, get the gang back together, get the band back together again. But this was fun, and I think I do love doing this type of work. So we're gonna do some more of this for sure.
It give you a chance to talk about it instead of trying to type it all out online. And instead of deleting, I said, why am I trying to cuss these folks out? Let me just leave them folks alone.
Oh my God, that's a function of age.
Is it?
Yeah. Because I mean, I used to spend so many times going back and forth with people and stuff. Now I'm like, even when I just like 2 letters, I'm like, that's all right. I don't even care that much.
I'm glad to know because I'm wondering what I'm like. I don't feel like talking.
I don't even care that much. Okay.
I don't even care that much.
All right. Whatever you say. Whatever you say. The
sky is purple.
Well, thank you, Dr. Mark Cunningham. Please tell people about your book.
Oh, yeah. So my books comes out September 15th. It's called Once Upon a Time in South Central LA, John Singleton's Hood trilogy. It kind of, I wrote it for John to be part of that conversation, the academic, the social, the cultural conversation outside of just Boys in the Hood, which I do talk about in the film. One of the things I have to say, the Criterion Collection is coming out with a John Singleton box set in April. And one of the things that made me sad is I didn't get asked to write the essay. Nobody contacted me about it. And I was feeling kind of bad about it. And our respected mentor, Dr. Beretta Shamati, she told me, boy, get over yourself because it don't look the way you thought it was going to look. She said, you good.
Exactly.
So I got over that. But that's coming out in April too for John, but my book will be out after that. And so, yeah, if you see the films again, then you read my book and get the analysis about it. And yeah, this has been a long time coming. Started out as my dissertation, but I really kind of wanted to talk about John's work less as hood movies, more as coming of age films, more of him kind of talking about a particular Black youth experience or certainly young experience, which doesn't get preference very much in film. So
yeah, and also Mark is a veteran, just in case you all care.
Yes, I am.
Yes, I care about that. And so I am so excited for your book. We were definitely going to have you back on to talk about your book.
Yes.
We'll have you on before then, of course. Yeah. I think we're going to try to look when I figure out how to use this platform properly. We had to get Dr. Bess up in here too.
Yeah, so she can talk about it. And then I can't wait for you to read the dedication I wrote to you in it. So.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining the Burton Wire on Substack.
Yes.
Also, we now have merch. I don't know if you can see it, but here's
yes. I need a coffee mug.
So we have, my student said, Dr. Burton, you ain't doing nothing if you don't have. I said swag in my
have some swag.
My links meeting, and a judge corrected me. It's not swag, it's merch.
Merch.
Okay.
I just said swag.
So we have merch. We have merch. And it's at the BurtonWire.shop. You can join Substack. We have free and paid. We appreciate paid because we want to keep it independent and fun and interesting and exciting. But you have a free or paid subscription. And then we still have the BurtonWire.com. Which is free. And we do mostly news alerts over there now. But we, try to keep you posted. And then you can follow us on any of our social media pages. We are not on X. Obviously, we would not be. I'm not on Blue Sky because I'm like, they used to be over at X. So I don't know yet. I'm having problems being on Substack. But I was like, okay, we just gonna toe the line.
You gotta be somewhere.
Just keep going.
But the Burton Wire also gonna give you all the latest news, but certainly the latest Black news.
Yes,
because when you're gonna know that Kiki Shepard passed. So
yes, we're gonna know that. And Judy Pace. I know. Two of the baddest women to ever walk the face of the planet.
Kiki, Judy Pace, Lola Falana, Michelle Nichols.
Keep going.
All the sisters. But yeah, Judy. Oh God, I just watched the episode of Judy Pace of Good Times.
Yes.
And she was in the fire, and James said, "Oh Lord, have mercy."
Okay, and John Amos, another incredible actor who could not. No one can say "Lord have mercy" like James Evans.
Never.
Never. But yeah, that episode. That and The Wiggler are two of my favorites.
Betty Bridges.
Yes, Betty Bridges. Yes. Okay, this is why we can't be together.
No, that's why.
Because we can do this literally all day.
All day.
We have done it all day.
All day.
Okay. So we will be back together again. And we will talk about all things film and media. And we talk about some other stuff too, because we have expertise in other things, but we try to keep it like in our expertise, our areas of expertise, unlike some people who talk about everything. So we're gonna talk about things we know about.
Yes, exactly.
But thank you for joining the Burton Wire's first inaugural live stream on the Burton Wire on Substack, and join us next week for another one, and next week for another one. So have a wonderful day. Stay informed, and thank you again to Dr. Mark Cunningham. Follow us on social media, and we'll see you again soon. Black with intention. See you later.